Thunderbird mission, the thrilling test of endurance. Tonight, we take you inside the cockpit with some of the fiercest warriors in the world.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And as we come on the air tonight, we are tracking a very active and very deadly storm situation. Weather officials issuing a rare high-risk warning as tornadoes and severe storms sweep across the South. Large and destructive tornadoes already spotted in Louisiana. This one near Alexandria. And this home in St. Martin's Parish destroyed by another twister, killing a mother and her 3-year-old daughter inside. Flash flooding, another threat across the region. Drivers taken by surprise on this road in Lafayette, Louisiana. And tonight, the National Weather Service is warning a particularly dangerous situation with more than 30 million people at risk through tomorrow night. ABC's Clayton Sandell starting us off.
Tonight, millions are under a tornado threat, but in Alexandria, Louisiana, one twister left this very real path of destruction.
We ask that everyone stay off the roads.
A family in Beaubridge, Louisiana was in this mobile home. A tornado packing 100-mile-per-hour winds tore it apart, killing a mother and her 3-year-old child. Across the South, lightning strikes are sparking fires, igniting this oil tanker in Shreveport. The clouds opening up, quarter-sized hail and pounding rain. Heavy flooding stalling drivers in Lafayette. Highways in Dallas, a dangerous mess.
A car that spun out.
It's the nation's second recent blast of severe weather. A tornado destroying this church in Chesapeake, Virginia on Friday. Drone video shows the church and neighborhood around it in ruins.
It wasn't what we were expecting when we were dispatched to a fire alarm.
In nearby Virginia Beach, an EF2 tornado with winds up to 120 miles per hour, toppling fences, uprooting trees, and ripping the side off this house.
Chimney is completely off, holes inside the siding, house is missing. It's just overwhelming.
50 homes were damaged, forcing over 30 residents to evacuate.
No one was injured, so that's all that matters. Material things can be fixed.
So much dangerous weather tonight across the country. Clayton Sandell joins us live now from Houston, Texas. A tornado touching down in that state, and the threat is far from over in the South tonight, right, Clayton?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Tonight, the storm threat in Louisiana is just spinning up, and officials there are warning people to be ready for anything because the threat will stick around all night into the morning, Tom. And those tornadoes causing so much damage. All right, Clayton, thank you so much. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is here. And Rob, where's the tornado threat right now?
Well, it's right in Louisiana and then into Mississippi. You mentioned how rare it is to have a high risk. Now we have this PDS watch, a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch that includes Louisiana. Now a watch has been extended into Mississippi, where they're also having straight line winds over 60 miles an hour. There you see the line of storm. The most damaging have been just around Alexandria and northeast of there. This will push off to the east overnight tonight, but it will be very dangerous, especially obviously as nightfall comes. Jackson, Mississippi to Tupelo by tomorrow morning. Then we'll refire a couple of more waves of storms tomorrow. Montgomery to Birmingham, getting into Atlanta by 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A moderate risk tomorrow. That is very dangerous as well, with large hails and potentially long track tornadoes, again from Mobile up through Columbus, but getting into very popular areas pretty much all day long tomorrow, Tom.
And our weather teams will be tracking this all night long as well. All right, Rob, thanks so much. Next to that epic disaster in South America, the death toll climbing after a devastating flash flood. The wall of water leveling a city as people slept in their beds, destroying homes and taking at least 200 lives. The grim list of the dead and the missing, you see it there, so many of them children. And tonight, the desperate rush to get fresh water and supplies to the grieving survivors. ABC's Alex Marquardt on the tragedy in Colombia.
Devastation and despair tonight, deep in the Amazon basin. Rescue crews frantically digging through the muddy rubble, trying to locate anyone who may still be alive, listening for signs of life. One feels completely unable to express the magnitude of the loss here, this man said. Family members weeping over lists posted of Makoa's dead and missing children. We've lost a baby who's gone missing, this woman said. A little baby, we can't find him anywhere. The scale of the destruction from the avalanche of mud and water, staggering. Cars flung like toys, entire neighborhoods buried. The death toll tonight, at least 200, but with hundreds more still missing and injured, Colombian and aid officials expect it to grow. With water and power knocked out, obliterated roads and bridges hindering aid efforts, people trapped in flooded homes, making desperate pleas to be rescued.
It is very difficult because many people do not have the surviving skills to let us know they're there.
Deforestation and climate change are being blamed for the scale of the destruction. A state of emergency has been declared in the area where more heavy rain could complicate the already dire search and rescue efforts. Tom?
More than 200 dead, just incredible destruction. All right, Alex, thanks so much. Back here in the States to the memorial now for a 13-year-old boy who died from carbon monoxide poisoning at a hotel pool party in Michigan. 6 other children are recovering after being found unresponsive. And tonight, fire officials confirming an inexpensive detector might have prevented it all. ABC's Kenneth Moten at the scene tonight.
Tonight, the children who survived those toxic fumes and their families back at this hotel to remember 13-year-old Brian Watts, the friend they lost.
He was funny and he always joked around and he was like fun to hang out with.
6 middle schoolers found unconscious around the pool of this Michigan Quality Inn and Suites Saturday. Another passed out upstairs.
I walked past the pool and there were literally just 5 bodies.
All I remember is me just passing out and hitting my head.
Fire investigators now certain the cause, a broken pool heater, pumping a lethal dose of carbon monoxide into the air. Do we know if the hotel had a CO detector?
At this point, to the best of our knowledge, it did not have a CO detector.
Under Michigan law, newly constructed buildings after 2009 were required to have CO detectors. Records show the Quality Inn was built in 2000. 400 killed, 20,000 treated every year in the U.S. for CO poisoning. You can't smell or see carbon monoxide. The first signs of poisoning, dizziness, vomiting, and headaches. Tom, that fire captain pointing out CO detectors cost about $20 and last for 10 years. This Quality Inn here is working to make repairs, calling the deadly incident isolated. Tom?
Such a sad accident. All right, Kenneth, thanks so much. As you heard, David, moving overseas now to a different story that we're going to pick up now. A big blaze breaking out at this high-rise complex under construction in Dubai, right near that country's largest shopping mall. Thick smoke blowing through the heart of that city, and just a block away from the 63-story tower that burned on New Year's Eve in 2015. So far, no reports of any injuries. And we want to turn now to politics and Donald Trump. What's his latest and what he's up to? Let's turn now to David Wright.
Today, Donald Trump teed up a fresh week, starting with a golf outing with Senator Rand Paul, who opposed the president on health care reform. But today, Trump signaled he's not throwing in the towel just yet. Talks on repealing and replacing Obamacare are and have been going on, he tweeted.
We had a great day with the president today. We did talk about some health care reform. I think the sides are getting closer together, and I remain very optimistic that we will get Obamacare repeal.
By the end of the week, Trump hopes to have his Supreme Court nominee confirmed. Today, another Democrat, Senator Joe Donnelly, broke ranks and said he'll support Neil Gorsuch. He's the 3rd Democrat to do so. The White House needs 5 more Democrats to defect in order to bring the nomination to a vote. But this weekend, the vice president suggested the White House would endorse changing Senate rules in order to shut down a filibuster.
We will overcome the obstructionists, and the United States Senate will confirm Judge Neil Gorsuch one way or the other.
This week also brings the toughest test yet of the president's diplomatic skills as he hosts Chinese President Xi Jinping at Mar-a-Lago. Trump talked plenty tough about China during the campaign.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing. It's the greatest theft in the history of the world. What China has done, and I like China.
But the U.S. also hopes for China's help in reining in North Korea. In an interview with the Financial Times today, Trump said China will either decide to help us with North Korea or they won't. In other words, the U.S. may have to go it alone.
At some point, we need to see definitive actions by China condemning North Korea and not just calling them out for it.
David Wright joins us now from the White House. David, we heard you in that report that Trump reached out to Senator Rand Paul on health care reform. Who else is he reaching out to?
Well, Tom, he's made it clear he's willing to talk to both parties, tweeting, "Obamacare is dead, but good things will happen either with Republicans or Dems." Tom?
A busy week ahead for the president. All right, David, thanks so much. As you heard David there, North Korea's nuclear ambitions are a growing threat to the United States. President Trump's deputy national security advisor now saying Pyongyang could hit the U.S. with a nuclear-armed missile before the end of President Trump's term. ABC's Bob Woodruff with a rare access inside North Korea tonight.
We arrive in this reclusive country at a time of rising tensions with the U.S. Our hosts make a point to show us the growing capital city of Pyongyang. But we hope to see something else. Those sites where the North Koreans have launched missiles or tested a new rocket engine since President Trump took office.
We put in all sorts of requests to visit out here, the launch locations where the missiles are being launched. We asked if we can see those brand new rocket engines. We're not getting that, but they said they're going to take us skiing.
On the road deep into the countryside, we drive by workers walking in formation, then arrive as promised at North Korea's brand new ski mountain with all the trappings of a resort.
There's any other guests here, do you think, or we're the only ones?
Except it is eerily empty. The few people on the slopes skiing to patriotic music. Back in the capital, the top North Korean official for U.S. affairs grants us a rare interview. And we talk about Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's recent tough talk.
Let me be very clear. The policy of strategic patience has ended. All options are on the table.
Vice Foreign Minister Han Song-rol says he thinks the possibility of a preemptive strike against the country's nuclear program is strong, later adding, if you bring out a knife to attack us, we will take out a sword.
Mr. Han told me he's never met personally President Trump before, but he's read that he is a great businessman, and he heard that he's very unpredictable, which means he is preparing for everything. Tom?
Bob Woodruff with rare access inside North Korea tonight. Bob, thank you. Next tonight to an especially disturbing attack. Police reporting a 15-year-old girl sexually assaulted by 4 or 5 teenage boys who streamed what they did on Facebook Live. 40 or so people who watched it. Not one of them called police. ABC's Eva Pilgrim with the details.
Tonight, an arrest in that disturbing sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl streamed on Facebook Live.
It's disgusting. It's so disgusting. She was so scared.
A 14-year-old boy is behind bars facing charges for the alleged crime. Police say more arrests are coming for the others involved.
And now they're going to be held accountable for what they did.
Authorities say at least 40 people viewed the Facebook Live video, but not a single person called police.
It just disgusts me that people would look at those videos and not pick up the phone and dial 911.
This is hilarious.
This isn't the first crime caught on Facebook Live in Chicago. In January, a group of teenagers were arrested after police say they kidnapped a disabled man, then broadcast themselves attacking him.
Smack his Smack his again.
And in Oklahoma last October,
Let me tell you, it hurts.
a man posted his alleged getaway after a violent and deadly rampage. As for the alleged sexual assault, Facebook pulled the video down, telling ABC News, "We work hard to create a safe environment on Facebook and will remove videos that depict sexual assault and are shared to glorify violence."
Authorities are looking into if those people who viewed the video could face charges, but say their first priority tonight is getting all the people involved in the video behind bars. Tom?
Eva, thank you. And still ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, the new secret weapon in the air helping to save lives on the ground in an emergency. Plus, caught on camera, a suspected carjacker taking control of the wheel as a woman is pumping gas into her car. What happened next? Plus, inside the cockpit of an F-16, buckle up, we're about to show you what G-force feels like. We'll be right back.
This is incredible.
This is ABC World News Tonight, brought to you by Cialis.
Why pause a spontaneous moment? Cialis for daily use treats ED and the urinary symptoms of BPH. Tell your doctor about your medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have a sudden decrease or loss of hearing or vision or an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis.
Whatever your dog brings home, it shouldn't be fleas and ticks.
No.
Seresto kills and repels fleas and ticks for 8 continuous months for effective protection in an easy-to-use, non-greasy collar. 8 months Seresto from Bayer.
At Fidelity, trades are now just $4.95. We cut the price of trades to give investors